Gather round, hunters, and welcome to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Fleet Admiral Tarek of the heavy battlecruiser Warclaw, and I am slightly out of breath, but we're just going to keep on rolling with it as we try to end the catfight between the Lyran Star Empire and the Marek Star League. Yes, noble warriors of truth, justice, and catitude, or something to that effect. Yes, we are about to end this campaign. They only have 8 tiles left. I'm figuring 1, maybe 2 episodes before we manage to completely wipe these guys off the map. So let's go check in with the supply yard, make sure that we are topped off on missiles, do a quick perusal through the shipyard to make sure that there isn't a third XCA that we can pick up. There is a fast cruiser, and the difference between a fast cruiser and us is what? A disruptor. That's it. Okay. Cool. So it looks like the fast cruiser trades 1 disruptor off of each of these hard points and gains an extra phaser, which, quite frankly, would probably be better. I think the fast cruiser is better than what we've got going here. We will hold off on purchasing that now, though, because I think we want to try and see if we can't get ourselves a full division of nothing but XCAs, but let's put out into space and go after the enemy. Into enemy space. We'll go on a patrol. I'm not a huge fan of convoy raids. I'm gonna be honest. Like, Lyran convoy raids have gotten surprisingly easy. We're getting really good at them. Well, mostly the Lyrans suck at convoy defense. Their ships don't seem to dump wild weasels. They don't seem to handle being shot at very well, and, well, they don't shoot down missiles. Which is weird, because you'd think that the Lyrans of all races would have an excellent time dealing with incoming missiles. So we are escorted today by the Death Howl, a very arrogant and proud-sounding name for something that is, quite frankly, a frigate. As you can see, 2 Sea-Racks. Yeah, Death Howl's pretty small compared to us. Fighting an XDD. Ooh, so this is a full-on X-Cruiser of the X-Cruiser type. It's got a very wide and awkward-looking head. I'm not a huge fan of the design of this ship. Just gonna be honest. He's also escorted by a DDW, which is the much cooler D5, although it is a D5 with the third nacelle, which kind of messes up the lines just a little bit, but we can't be too picky. Let's increase speed. We know that we have a lot more speed to burn here. No reason to be skulking around so slowly. We'll select our missiles, and we'll probably start to fire as we get up to speed. We know that it's going to be a little bit difficult time punching through his point defense system. It's the sad and slightly annoying truth of fighting Klingons. They have absolutely astonishing amounts of point defense system power. To the point where they can almost handle our MIRVs. Okay, not quite, but they do a better job than just about everybody. If the Lyran AI was better, the Lyrans would probably do it better. But as things stand right now, yeah. Klingon-like cruisers, just Klingon ships in general, they bring between 4 and 6 point defense systems at this point in the war. So, yeah, they quite handily take care of massive incoming missile volleys. Looks like we're suffering a graphical glitch. And there go his heavy disruptors, capable of punching through point defense system. Oh, he's only got a single point defense system. Ooh. He might not be able to handle this. And he's traveling at such a high rate of speed that, you know, we might be able to pull this off. Ooh, his shuttle bay is offline. Let's see if he's able to deploy a shuttle anyway. I'm going to focus on him. We've got to bring him down in speed a little bit, but we certainly caused a nasty hit right there. Slow down a bit, slow down a bit. We don't have any weapons quite ready. And is he going to have anything to fire at me? Nope, no shot. But that's okay. We don't have a shot on him either just yet. We will shortly, though. We'll select our phasers to try and get work done. And I think I'm going to go overload status. We're going to try and hit him for longer range. There we go. That's starting to cause some hits. Disruptors get involved in that game show. And it slowed him down. The missiles are now going to come on in. His shuttle bay is still offline, so there will be no wild weasel. No rescue, no savior. And there he goes. That's what happens when you run out of power. Unfortunately, it looks like the Warlust has taken some hits. He's lost his shield, and I don't think that's because he's beaming a mine on anybody. Let's show this DDW that he should have gone the other way. I'm going to save the 3 racks, the Bs, just in case he's got a wild weasel to deploy. But look at that. His point defense system just ripping into things. There goes the Wild Weasel shuttle. And we will lay into him a little bit. Haven't taken out any of his point defense systems yet. But we're working on it. Ooh, fired too early. They turned right on time. He then had to sink power into his point defense tractors, but not enough. And the Warlust firing off his weaponry in proud salute. Happy, strong. That's what we do. 236 prestige. Not bad. Let's stop in here. Warlust is going to need a bit of a patch job. As long as we're in here, we're looking for an XCA if you got one. Please? Doesn't look like it. Let's go supply. 17 damage. I wonder how that happened. I'm going to say that you were cocky, arrogant, and you took a hit you didn't need to. It's all your fault, not mine. Well, to be fair, it probably wasn't my fault. For once. So yeah, nothing in the shipyard. Screw it, we're going to buy it. The Sinew Bow, which, not a bad name, I suppose. So Sinew Bow, which I will have interesting times trying to pronounce your name for the short period of time that you will be with us. 450 prestige spent in missiling him up. We are now a triple squadron, a triple threat, so let's get on in. Now, a single fast cruiser is a little bit of step down in firepower normally. However, as we saw earlier, for Merak, he basically has the exact same missile loaded as us. So the triple Cattiers of Merak heavy cruisers. We will drop this down to half, increase speed up to around 19, and yeah, he'll actually be able to maintain a slightly higher speed, maybe, but I like his armament more, if I'm 100% honest, because I do like phasers more than I like disruptors. So we're bringing a fairly considerable amount of firepower to the table at this point. We are now capable of putting out 120 missiles in a single salvo. I want you to just pause and think about that. 120 missiles. Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. So we are fighting a DWL, a D5WX, and is that it? 2 DWLs and a D5WX. So let's look over here. So you are the DWL, you are a DWL, you are the D5WX. I'm not sure which would be the more dangerous one. I kind of want to think that the 5X would be, but, you know, that's probably whistling in the dark. He is up front, though, so we're going to start giving him the business. 36 missiles right on here. And we will increase speed by 5 marks. Heading in on him just so we can see if we can't double up this salvo. I don't think so. Our closure rate is quite high, but maybe it'll put us in a position to be able to immediately follow it up. I'm anticipating, though, at least 4 point defense systems on board, because that's what we've been seeing out of the Klingons a lot. So yeah, wouldn't be too surprised. We should probably join in the disruptor fire, however, I don't want to. There, I just don't want to. Okay, so he's got, yeah, 4 point defense systems. We're going to need to thicken this volley up. And point defenses are firing away. He did deal with the Wild Weasel. Oh, he tried to shoot! The fool! Unfortunately, we then fired while the DWLX was in position, and so our missiles went nowhere. But for some reason, he decided that he really had to shoot, or beam out a tractor beam, or something. So he took a pretty crushing hit. We'll slow back down to a speed where we can charge all our weapons, and we're going to dump another salvo of a ton of missiles on him. If we're lucky, no, he's going to get in range. He's going to get in range before we can really cause the hurt on this. So still ripping into him, using the phaser gatlings for those wonderful raking passes. Spreading out the damage just a little bit. And suddenly, surprise, all that firepower. So this'll spread out the fleet quite nicely. Unfortunately, they all targeted the same thing. So yeah, a little less effective than we would want it to be. His point defense system is still at half effectiveness. So I want to fire disruptors at you, and then phasers over to you. Unfortunately, the phasers aren't quite ready yet. So we'll curl on in on this one. Build in some range from the DWL so that he can't fire his point defense systems in support. Oh, waste of missiles. And he's now about to eat a whole bunch of missiles to the face. The point defense system is very effective. Unfortunately, it just can't deal with all of it. Although they could do a good job, you have to give them props for that. They can take care of a lot of missiles on their own. Our disruptors are firing away. This ought to kill him. We'll go in with a phaser pass. Don't even need to. Last target of the day. And we'll get our VRAX engaged on him again. Ooh, looks like a scatter pack. No target. It was aimed at the other DWL. Disruptors. Into the face. Full racks, just to give him the full business. Rip open his front. And let him take basically all those shots. He did deploy Wild Weasel. Unfortunately, he was late. So, not working out for him. But that should leave him exposed for our other two vessels to come in and absolutely annihilate him. Why is the Warlust so low on systems? You shouldn't have taken that much damage. In any case, you shouldn't be exposing your damaged bow if that's the case. I'm disappointed in the tactics you are displaying. Disruptors getting involved here, causing a little bit of damage, but really the killing blow is these massive amounts of missiles. And I will allow the missiles to do their killing work. Wait, bye. Okay, there he's dead. So a little bit of a challenge, not really. I mean, D5s, even upgraded D5s, so it counts as heavy cruisers, they're not the biggest threat, especially not to an X-type cruiser, but it was something. And hey, the Warlust did lose his forward shields. That's enough for me to pop back here and say, hey, supply, 62 damage. How? What were you doing? We're not going to buy anything, because we don't have any money to buy anything. We need to keep saving cash. For what? Well, the end of the campaign, quite frankly. And give us a mission. What do we got? Klingon ships. More Klingon ships. This far in the heart of enemy or Lyran territory, we're getting nothing but Klingon missions. Which tells me, yeah, they really don't have any planets left. That's excellent. So increasing speed around 19. Because we're never quite sure where we get the phaser capacitor. We try and put it at half, but maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit less. So, increasing speed. I still have no target on you, but we'll go up the power. Heavy cruiser, light cruiser. 2 light cruisers and a heavy cruiser. What sort of formation are you in? Okay, so you're actually a destroyer leader, or an X-type destroyer. Slow down to normal speed. Now, something that we have learned is that these destroyers tend to have a weak spot, and that is they are not particularly well defended in point defense systems. Now this can be mitigated if this light cruiser gets out ahead of him. But, hey, he can only mitigate it, he can't stop it. And point defense is never quite as effective protecting someone else than it is protecting you. That's a lie, it just shoots at anything around you. Although you do have the most amount of time that you can try and deal with it if it's coming straight for you. I do not anticipate that our systems will be... Oh no, they will be. So we will be fully charged and ready to fire again, and I don't think he'll be able to slow down in time. So you're getting all the things. Oh, nope, there he goes. He slowed down. And we're going to come around to port, see if we can't curl out around from this one. And now we'll get the Gatling phasers involved. Managed to slash through one of his rear shields. That puts him at a nice disadvantage. However, he is an X-type war destroyer, which means he will be vulnerable to this kind of... not vulnerable, he will be somewhat less vulnerable than normal. Because his warp coils will not be so easily affected. Something that most of the other later Klingon ships definitely have problems with. Okay, so all our missiles managed to split into an entire group. Let's see if they can hit him before he managed to out-accelerate them, which he's definitely trying to do. Yeah, and it looks like... Oh, we're going to have a little bit of trouble with these missiles if we can't get this fleet separated out. So he's having lots of power problems now, it seems. And we will be able to take advantage of this down shield again, overload the system, and there we go. Managing to get nice, good, powerful shots in. We'll keep the phasers on overload. That way we can try and wipe him out early. And we do have to separate these guys sometime soon. Our point defense system's making absolute short work of that. And we've built in some distance. Unfortunately, the Chieftain is too close. If we fire our missiles, the Chieftain will shoot them down. So we'll stay at this range, flanking away. We're going to actually commit disruptors into the Chieftain. There we go, knocked out a shield. And target the antagonist. And get the missiles out, and they're going, nope, looks like the Chieftain is still too close. Being a bit of a jerk. And antagonist dumped another Wild Weasel. So those shots from his point defense systems were wasted. And we're going to come right in on him. because we're going to have a good firing angle for this one. All weapons selected. All weapons on overload. Phaser capacitor is at full charge. Get me right on top of him. And unload. Wasn't quite enough to kill him. I'm surprised. These X-type destroyers are quite handy and quite strong. Well, until you unleash the full might of the firepower there. So they are still too close to try and punch through that point defense system. I don't think any amount of missile firepower would do that. We've got the division, the divisor. Interesting name for a ship. We're going to focus on the chieftain. I want this chieftain down. We will focus on the division later. So Disruptor's getting some good shots in there. 16 damage. Right on top of him for another phaser pass. Unfortunately, our phasers are not charging enough. So we are running into that age-old problem of having overloaded phasers, but not overloading the capacitor to go with it. Warlust has just been getting mauled these last few missions. I can't really figure out why. Like, he hasn't been putting himself especially in danger lately. And your point defense system is at full power, so there's no way we're punching through that. No disruptors, but we can't get phasers through. Still charging up. We need to knock... Oh, his point defense system isn't nearly as dangerous as I thought it was. Still powerful enough to take care of our 4 missiles, but not nearly as dangerous. Disruptors piling in. And I'm thinking about slowing down a little bit more so that our disruptors charge at a normal rate rather than the slightly reduced rate. He is still soaring away at great speed. At this point, I'm just going to try and score hits on him. I mean, the Klingon ships do share weak warp coils, or at least warp engines. But no, he's soaring away at full power. Part of that is we've taken out a lot of his systems that require power. So disruptors are not available. Phasers. A couple of phasers are available. And we were able to get the Gatling phaser in on there. It looks like it had a minor effect. He lost 1.3 points of speed. But we're going to have to let the disruptors keep on working at him. Because there is no position disruptors like being in better than behind an opponent with no shield. They're not fantastic on damage, but they are accurate. So steadily plinking away like that, that's exactly what they're for. Less a weapon of, you know, screw you, and more a weapon of, let's target this. Whew. I committed probably a little too much to that, but it was worth it. I'm a little surprised he has double shuttle bays, because he dumped the scatter pack and then he dumped a wild weasel on top of that. So I'm a little surprised he was able to get away with that, but it did give us an opportunity to absolutely just rake him with fire from our Gatling phasers. Come around to starboard, and we're exposing a weak shield. We'll do the hard overturn just to get on course and target. That'll bring a disruptor into range and ready to fire. 3 disruptor targets right on into him, 4 damage apiece. It's not horrific. It's not wonderful. If we're 100% honest, it is not a wonderful amount of damage, but it's enough. And there we go. Managed to take him out. A pretty good group for point defense work. As we soar on to the Purple Nebula. Without any cares in the world. 252 prestige, that's an alright amount. How many tiles they got left? Oh, they're getting low. They are getting low. Warlust, why are you taking so much damage? 159 points of damage, Warlust. Really? Are you kidding me? Can I top off my loads? Yeah, T16. I'm only going to top myself off. Because, yeah, we're not going to waste time. And a convoy raid! Ugh. Not a huge fan of convoy raids. At least not against Klingons. Klingon convoys can be annoying. Because they're tough. But are we in the chase position? No, we are in the intercept position. Nice. So at least we will be able to take care of this convoy with somewhat greater ease, because it's heading towards us rather than away from us. So increase power. Freighter. 2 freighters only at this point. Are they? Yeah, they are flying towards us. There's the 3rd freighter. Let's increase the speed of time. And looks like we got a single light cruiser, a 2nd light cruiser, and a heavy cruiser. So we will continue in this direction. We will take the moment to go slow down time now, because now we're starting to get into the fun territory. Let's get the MIRVs away. Increase speed so that we match up the speed of the MIRVs. Boost that shield output. So light cruiser, heavy cruiser, and a heavy cruiser. That's a DWL. This is a D7 or a C7. You are a D6? Huh, we don't run into those very often. So continue to target him. We're going to double up the salvo. because he will be able to deal quite handily with the salvo. So it's going to need to be everything we can pour into him. And phasers to overload for missiles and drop down in speed. I want the missiles to get out ahead of me because, well, he's about to dump. Yep, there goes the Wild Weasel. Oh, so tempted to just go all stop because I want to hit him with absolutely everything I can without having to worry about the negative defense shift. So managed to cause quite a bit of raking fire here. Wow. So the Warlust and the Sinew Bow managed to absolutely gut the Dim Slayer. And then it looks like the Incomparable, is having a very bad time of it. Yep, Incomparable is done. Target the Dim Slayer as of next. We will soar through this mine, and then we will launch missiles. Wow, that was ugly. So Indisputable is going to be annoying because it just came in and took care of our entire salvo. So we will continue to focus on Dim Slayer because I think we have a weak link here to exploit. Of course, Indisputable is going to soar on in here and take care of most of the enemy. Point defense systems handling things quite nicely. We'll come around and allow the... Nope, don't even have to. Don't need to get the Gatling phasers involved at all. We're going to ram this mine, and then we're going to unload with all weapons. He's not doing a very high speed, so this ought to be easy. Hit that. And then follow it up with the B-Racks, but the B-Racks are not quite ready. So fire everything you've got. Nice big hole in the wall. He did deploy a Wild Weasel, so we're going to have to worry about that. Slow down a little bit. Maybe it'll shut off. Shut off, shut off. Shut off now? No. Looks like the Wild Weasel ate every single missile we fired his way, but we were then able to follow up with beam weapons. So let's increase the speed of time, since we are now on killing merchantmen and freighters. The easy job. So, you're dead. And I'm going to come in on you. We'll get a nice... Don't even need to. Fire disruptors. Disruptors killed you. I'm going to target you with phasers. Apparently we've destroyed 3 of their freighters twice. You're dead. And this ought to be the last freighter to wind out the mission. Just peg him with disruptor fire and overload all of his systems. There we go. 1 convoy completely wiped out. Doing good work. They were unable to make it to the spherical nebula thing. 354 prestige, not bad. That's enough to refill us. They are down to 4 tiles, but that's going to wrap it up for an episode right there, folks. Oh, next episode. We took out 4 tiles this episode. Next episode will be 4 more tiles, and that will wipe Delirians completely off the map, and that'll be another campaign. It'll be yet another season down. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Next campaign will probably be the Hydrons. So, I've been Tarak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, or leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.